welcome to the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast with your host, Ed Burkeen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever and wherever you may be listening or watching us from, you have your ears and eyes locked into the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Ed Burkeen. I am your host for these festivities. And joining me, as always, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion, and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
I'm so excited. I don't get the lyrics right, but you get what I mean. Let's do this.
For all of us here at the Caps Locked and Chair Shots podcast, we apologize for the singing of one Jaime Luis Aldecoa. And joining me also, he is my tag team partner, my arch nemesis, and my very best friend. You can see him all around the internet, including right here on twitch.tv. He is the one, the only, second, Danny Bananas. Say hi, Dan.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. If you were here, I know there were some people here earlier. If you come back in, I want to apologize with some of those technical difficulties that we had the first time around. But hey, you know, they say that 6 times the charm, because that's how many times it took us to get it right.
There we go. You know, in the 50-ish episodes we've done of this show, I have screwed up that intro one time. This is the second time I've done that. But we're not going to re-record because this is, like Dan said, the 6th time we've done this. Normally I'd start out the show with a monologue, but we tried this before. It did not work. So we're just going to jump on in with the wrestling coverage. And let's start with Monday Night Raw. It came, I believe, from Toronto, correct?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now we're going to get to that Toronto crowd here in 1 minute. But the one thing that I took away from Monday Night Raw, and one of the few things that I actually cared about on the longest running weekly episodic show on television, how good did Trish Stratus look, Jaime?
That yoga's doing good. It's doing miracles for her.
Daniel, you're a resident female guy.
I would say Trish looked very good, to put it lightly. Thinking of PG. We're sort of a PG show at times.
Since when? I guess since we're on Twitch, we have to be. So let's move on. We saw Kevin Owens have won just hell of a match against Seth Rollins. And then he quit. So Daniel, where do we go from here with Kevin Owens?
I have no idea. So part of me, I saw this theory on the internet, right? That the match between Braun and Roman, okay, I'll just put it to you this way. Somehow Kevin Owens ends up with the Money in the Bank.
But how? I mean, Braun's cashing in.
Basically it could be, maybe we're looking at KO with, he gets handed the case from Corbin, and Corbin just sanctions the Braun match, and that's sort of what we do. That's sort of what we see. If you're picking up what I'm laying down.
Oh, I'm tracking, baby. I'm tracking. Jaime, do you like that idea? Because I don't like that idea.
I like that idea because the briefcase is going away from Braun. But anyway, what I read from the internet is KO is going to return as a silent person. He's going to be a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman's going to do all the talking while KO's all silent. That's what I read.
That is such a waste. Let's move on. We'll come back to Braun. Jaime, I want to hear your thoughts. Kurt Angle, is he done with the WWE?
He might be on his way out because he's already served his purpose. But Corbin, he's not going to be the permanent general manager. Like, there's going to be a new babyface manager that would piss Corbin off.
So are they waiting for somebody to break their neck to do this? I mean, who steps into that role? Do we see Stone Cold come back? Can we please see Stone... Maybe Eric Bischoff. Oh, man. I would mark out to hear, "We're back."
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's a good idea. If Eric Bischoff comes back, so he's the heel, Corbin's the heel, so Corbin will be like the sidekick to Eric Bischoff.
Daniel, Eric Bischoff, Raw GM, you on board?
Sure. Anybody with Corbin.
How about I'm going to throw out one more idea, and you know what? Feel free to tell me no. Bring back the anonymous Raw General Manager, and don't make it Hornswoggle. I want the laptop to return.
Ogle. Let it be Hornswoggle.
Oh, we can only hope. All right, now we talked about Braun cashing in a little bit, but is it a good idea for Braun to go the route that John Cena went? And turning in your money in the bank and giving the guy you're turning it in on enough time. We saw it fail for Cena. Does Braun actually pull this off?
Absolutely not.
No.
It's not happening.
So we're all picking Roman at Hell in a Cell then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of that match, who's the bad guy? I mean, are they trying to bank that because Roman reunited with the Shield, some of that good love, some of that love from the fans is going to rub off from, Ambrose and Rollins onto Roman? Did they put Braun with Ziggler and McIntyre to make Braun a bad guy? Because honestly, I can see this turning completely backward on them. Am I wrong there, Jaime?
The thing about the WWE right now is whenever they hate the baby face, whenever they hate the face, that face can discover a cure for cancer and they would still boo that baby face. And if they love a heel, even if the heels becomes pro-terrorism, they'd still love that heel.
Unless it's Muhammad Hassan. Daniel, agree or disagree?
Agree? I'm not sure how I feel about the analogy, but agree.
Fair enough. Now, is it good for Braun to go with Ziggler and McIntyre? That's one hell of a team. And will it lead to a Survivor Series match between the Shield plus somebody else, maybe, I don't know, Jason Jordan, versus Braun, Dolph, McIntyre, and Baron Corbin? Make sense? Yay? Nay? Maybe add Finn in there instead of Jordan?
Yeah, makes sense. Jordan and Angle.
Hey, there you go. Let's see. What's next on the list?
I have one issue with that, sir.
And what is your issue, Daniel?
The fact that Jason Jordan is done wrestling.
Is he the new general manager then? Ooh.
Interesting, but yeah, Jason Jordan is injury basically. He's moved into a producer role.
Interesting. Maybe the sun precedes the... or comes after. I don't know the word. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Jaime, you've been our resident, Baron Corbin lover. Is the feud he's got with Finn Balor good?
It's getting old. I'll be honest. It's getting old.
Daniel, thoughts?
I don't have many on this subject. I'm tired of seeing Baron Corbin. I wish he would just fade away and classify himself as obsolete.
That's very close to another word. We'll come back to that. All right. We heard somebody else is going to show up on Monday Night Raw next week. And he is, well, I guess you could say, he's good looking. You don't play with him. He is very good looking. You guys know who I'm getting at here?
Nope.
Jason Jordan?
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
That'd be interesting, but...
HBK is coming back. It's been announced he'll be at Raw next week to address the Triple H Undertaker thing.
Does he come back heel?
I think he comes back to smack some sense into Triple H. Maybe. Possibly. It could happen. But he's going to be back. Which kind of takes the steam out of my question if y'all were excited to see HBK back because neither of you guys knew HBK was coming back.
Well, I didn't put two and two together because I did watch Raw this week.
I'm actually already making a prediction
Whoa,
on this.
whoa, hold on, Jaime. Hold on. Dan,
Okay, good.
you are 1/3 of the least popular wrestling podcast on the internet, and you actually watched a wrestling show this week. Jaime,
Yeah,
we need to give him a round of applause. We need to give Dan a round of applause. Okay, last question before we move on for Monday Night Raw. The Revival. Are they going to beat the B team at Hell in a Cell? Daniel, since you watched Raw this week, give me your thoughts.
I hope not. I like the B team gimmick,
It's over. I mean, it's way over.
but I feel like the Revival have proved themselves that they can stay healthy at this point, and that was kind of why they got pushed down the tag team card, because they couldn't stay healthy, and they've been healthy for a good amount of time now, and I think they could win, but I hope they don't.
Jaime, agree? Disagree? Where are we going?
Revival, it's a toss-up for me because I'm just looking at the most competitive match the B team will ever be in.
Okay. Bonus question. We know All In's, what, Sunday? Now, are we going to hear F the Revival on Sunday? Or perhaps even the following day on Monday Night Raw? Anybody jump in? We're making great television here, guys.
One
No?
more time. You have a question?
Wow. God, this takes me back. This takes me back to the days when Dan knew absolutely nothing about what's going on and just kind of listened to the last 3 words of a sentence and assumed he knew what we were talking about.
That is one bit.
Daniel, will we hear F the Revival at any point Sunday or Monday, given that All In is Sunday?
No.
You don't think? Jaime, do you care to respond?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on to SmackDown. Daniel, since you like The Miz so much, is him and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and whichever Bella he's married to, is this a good thing? Is this a good storyline?
It's forming to be a good storyline.
You're not Dan. You're not Dan. Daniel, I wanted to hear your opinion.
What's the difference between this storyline and, I don't know, the other Bella twin against Miz and Maurice?
Oh, WrestleMania! Well,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan can't propose to somebody he's already married to.
Or could he?
Are you saying that we could see the first ever renewal of wedding vows in the WWE ring?
I mean, you never know, man.
I'm telling you. Jaime, I cut you off. Let's hear your thoughts.
It's actually going to be better.
You think?
Although the build up of the John Cena Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice was better, but storyline wise, this is going to be better in the long run because I'm predicting that Miz and Maurice score another one over Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, and the feud goes on and on and on
Okay,
until the
fair enough. Now, we assume that the guys are going to be taking most of the action on this one, right? We're not going to see Maurice execute a lot of, sleeper holds in this match, are we?
yeah, but expect the guys to take bumps that the women wouldn't. Not sexist, just what I see.
Well, obviously, Jaime. I mean, as good as Brie Bella is, she's no Daniel Bryan, and is Maurice even a trained wrestler?
Oh my
No,
shots.
What? I mean, I'm genuinely asking a question. Is she?
I mean,
yeah.
I don't remember that. Taking one too many hits to the head. Speaking of one too many hits to the head, we'll actually get to him in the next question. Is anybody else tired of the New Day?
absolutely not.
I'm over him. Jaime, New Day, yay or nay?
Here's the thing. The New Day comes up with something new every now and then. The antics, not really that old, but them as title holders, it became old the moment they broke that record.
Yeah, but I just no. They didn't break a record when they hold a tag team championship 21 different times for what is it now? 4 or 5 different organizations. Then I'll recognize them as record breakers. Until then, my heart stays in Dudleyville. And another thing, since we're on the topic of the New Day, and I know I brought it up and I'm talking a lot, but it's my show and I don't care. And you guys can't see me talk anyway. The fact that the New Day doesn't have an endorsement deal with IHOP deeply depresses me. That's a match made in heaven.
So since you brought up the elephant in the room, when will you be gracing us with your stunning good looks?
Well, you see, the thing about that is, for those of you that don't know what I look like, you're welcome. My face is literally so amazingly beautiful that my camera has broken on my computer. And since it's 2018, you can't exactly go out and buy a webcam for $15 anymore. So from now on, I will be the power that bees, a la Vince Russo at the end of WCW. I'm sure you all forgotten about that, much the way Vince Russo wishes we all forgot about that. So until I either get a new computer or start caring about my appearance, or you people, I'm just going to be a silhouette. Does that answer your question, Daniel?
Typical Ed answer.
Hashtag I'm a heel, baby. All right. Big E Spinaroonie. Let's go back to the New Day. Let's get back on track. Big E Spinaroonie. Did y'all laugh? I thought it was dumb.
I have not been able to see that yet.
You're not missing anything. Jaime, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. All right. King Booker returned as the King Booker. I have two thoughts on that. One, he seemed very out of place without Sharmell. And two, he seemed very out of place talking. Am I wrong there? Dan, you haven't seen it. Your opinion doesn't matter. Jaime?
The thing is, King Booker is a heel character, so it's really weird that he's putting the New Day over. He should have did some heel stuff.
Well, I mean, they are 5-time tag team champions, and what do we know about Booker T? He doesn't know if people dig that. He thinks everybody sucks, and he's a 5-time WCW champion. So, he's a 5-time champion, they're 5-time champions. It's synergy, it works. It just didn't work for me. Dan, would you care to weigh in on something you haven't seen?
I mean, I'll weigh in on Booker in general. He seemed out of place when he was doing commentary, so there probably isn't much of a difference here.
Shucky ducky, man. I agree with you. Shucky ducky. Let's go back to that Toronto crowd. SmackDown came from Toronto as well, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Crowd seemed dead, especially for SmackDown, did they not, Jaime?
They did. Probably because they didn't have much representation. At least Raw got the Canadian on TV. But for SmackDown, the only thing they got was Ty Dillinger, and it was in a goofy backstage segment.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Ty Dillinger in a second, because honestly, it ticks me off. Now, Daniel, for those of, the 5 people that listen to this show on a regular basis, they know that your heart lies in Australia with the Iconics.
Yes.
I'm tired of seeing them. Convince me otherwise.
How do I hang up on you?
We are live, Dan. I need you to say something. You need to contribute to the
I literally
show.
just said, how do I hang up on you?
Well, contribute to the show, Dan, or I'm going to hang up on you. I'm getting pretty tired of your stuff, man. Do we got to go back to the arbitrator? Do we got to go all the way back to episode 4?
Listen, alright? You don't talk about New York and Billy Kay like that.
I'm just saying, I'm over them. I'm over their little shtick. Nothing is iconic about them. I'm done with them. I'm done.
Okay, Dave Meltzer.
They should go back to NXT. Let them feud with Kairi Sane, and let them cut the worst damn promos on the best damn show in wrestling, and get them off SmackDown. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Jaime, agree or disagree?
They weren't like this in NXT, so probably it's the creative's fault.
Fair enough. Speaking of creative, is WWE creative trying to make Andrade Cien Almas the next Alberto Del Rio? I rolled my R. I'm proud of myself.
I hope
No.
not. He's going to be married and divorced with Lena Vega in less than a year.
Speaking of shots fired, Jaime, you said no. Explain.
Well, Andrade Cien Almas is his own character. See? He's like, I know the comparison might sound ridiculous, but he's starting to be, if he starts winning and holding title belts, he's like the Mexican version of, he's like the Latino Brock Lesnar. He has a mouthpiece.
Yeah, but Selena Vega's a lot better looking than Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I agree.
But I want to point something out. I have shown amazing restraint just now. Because English may not be the second language to Jaime, so he may throw in some various words in his pauses. And we were talking about Alberto Del Rio, and he threw in the word "sí." And it took every fiber of my being to not chant that word repeatedly. So for those of you that listened to us back in the days of Bino Machino, this is restraint. Should he put the mask back on, Daniel?
No. He hasn't had it on since he's been in WWE, so I put it on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel is in rare form tonight. It's hard-hitting commentary like that make this show what it is. Thanks, Dan. We appreciate you.
What do you want me to say? I'm telling you the truth. Like, no, why would he put it back on? He hasn't worn it.
I'm just saying. We're on TV now. They may not be able to see me, but you can show some emotion. Good God, we're trying to get people to watch us. And you're looking like that, with your man bun and everything else. You're a disgrace. Let's move on.
See me either.
Jaime, Samoa Joe. Did he have the line of the week? It was something to the effect of, "Sorry kids, daddy can't tuck you into bed, he just went night-night," or something like that. Was that the line of the week? I know you have something else primed.
Yeah. Something the night prior. Elias I don't know what to say.
Collect yourself, breathe.
That was savage.
Okay. Would you like to explain what it is, or, I mean, is the thought not forming in the brain, or what?
I'll explain. Well, Trish was trying to roast Elias for his singing. So everything Trish said was all erased by what Elias said. I don't date women in their 60s.
Just for the record, we've already discussed how good Trish looked. She's 42 years old, and Elias would be lucky to have a woman that looks half as good as she does. Now, we're going to take a little break for a second, because normally, about this time in the show, Daniel would do a special little thing we've given him that he's done for about the last 6 months or so, and that is the hot girl of the show. He's going to do that now, but I want to let you all in on just a little bit of a secret. It's not going to be Trish Stratus. So, Daniel, who's your hot girl of the show?
Oh, it's definitely Alexa Bliss.
I'm good with that.
It'll be Alexa Bliss like 9 out of 10 shows.
Fair enough.
Probably 5 out of 10. Obviously, because we got to include Peyton Royce.
No, we don't. I wanted to ask you about something, since we didn't talk about it when we did our SummerSlam reaction show, which was, by the way, the first episode of our 3rd season doing this. The makeup on, what's-her-face? Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. How did you feel about those?
I liked them. I thought it was cool. It was their war paint. I thought Becky suited her even more after the turn.
Fair enough. Jaime, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you believe Sensational Sherry was the one that did that makeup?
Possibly. She got the idea from Sensational Sherry.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have another staple of the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. We ask Jaime a question, and we don't get a definitive answer. Takes me back. It takes me back. All right. Jaime, you brought up Ty Dillinger. Is he now a joke?
Well, he shouldn't be, because I'm not sure what you guys think, but Ty Dillinger is just no, not just. Ty Dillinger is as good as a wrestler, as good as a performer as a Johnny Gargano. Am I correct?
I mean, let's hear what Dan thinks.
Ty Dillinger needs more time. Like, this dude was so good. This dude built himself up. Built himself up and built himself up and built himself up. And now he's doing nothing.
Okay.
Like, he's a joke.
So he is a joke then.
Yeah.
The thing that got Ty Dillinger over, at least in my opinion, was his entrance. Whoever that ring announcer is, whatever his name is, the dude does a fantastic job. And when they took the pause out of this match is scheduled for one fall and stopped letting the crowd repeat it, it was a mistake. But the way he introduced Ty Dillinger as the Perfect 10, that made Ty Dillinger over. He's just not that way anymore because we don't see him in the ring ever. And the next time we're probably going to see him in the ring is in a tag team with R-Truth, and it's going to be terrible. I love R-Truth. I thought he should have gotten a bigger push than what he did. But it's sad now. It's sad. It's just sad. All right. Speaking of things that are sad, has anybody seen the Fashion Police other than a rent-a-car ad? Where are they at? Are they injured? What's going on?
Fandango's injured.
What happened? What's wrong with the dancing guy?
Dan?
I don't know. I just know he went down. I'll research it really quick, though. I want to say it's a shoulder injury.
That's another staple of this show for those of you that are tuning in for the first time. I ask a question, and nobody has the answer for it. Even though it could easily have been looked up, and they knew I was going to ask the question, because they all got the script hours before the show was recorded. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being prepared.
Hey,
all right.
That's the script you wrote? Never mind. We won't talk about that.
Uh-huh. Okay, even though he's injured, can we still bring back the Fashion Files? It was like the best thing about SmackDown. And that was when AJ and Nakamura were on there. Can we bring that back?
That's actually a good idea, because Fandango's injury is only a shoulder injury. Like, it's not that he has to perform. All he needs to do is a backstage segment. So, why not?
Well, even then, I mean, you can still... Fandango, what happened to you? I was attacked. Dong dong. Fashion Files, Part 2. It works! It's easy to write, kills 10 minutes, we don't have to watch the Iconics stumble through a match and a promo. Just saying.
Good luck tonight.
Just saying. Alright. We're going to get into some serious stuff. Which is a better storyline? Dan, you're going to go first. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, or Samoa Joe and AJ Styles?
Becky and Charlotte.
You going to explain, or are you just going to give me an answer and move on?
I will try to start a new chapter in my book here, and I will just give you an answer and move on. No, man, I just think the storyline's good. Becky needed the heel turn. That was what she needed to
Rejuvenate is the word you're looking for?
Yes, to rejuvenate her career, in my opinion, because she's just been jobbing out way too much and not doing enough. So by this heel turn, this is what the fans wanted. This is what the fans wanted for Cena. She's just such a fan favorite that she's going to get cheered no matter what, and she's going to get cheered now because that's not what the WWE wants. They want her to be booed. And what do the fans like to do? They like to do the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, it's all those indie smarks trying to screw over Vince McMahon. Just, ticks me off. Jaime, which is better?
I'm going with Joe and AJ. Like, I've been seeing these two compete in forever. They've always competed against one another in any promotion, the Indies, the Impact, and WWE. But they tend to come up with something new every time they see each other. They see opposite each other in a feud.
Okay, well, Jaime was supposed to, because I'm going to let y'all in on a little industry secret we have here on the show. Jaime was supposed to agree with Dan so I could use my signature catchphrase, but Jaime decided to go off script. Jaime went into business for himself, and in turn, screwed my point over, and screwed over the next 2 minutes I planned on talking about how both you and Dan were wrong. So, thank you, Jaime, you suck. But, you're right. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles are the better thing, and it's not because, I hate women's wrestling, and I don't. Love it. Charlotte Flair, that's my chick. But, Joe and AJ have all this history, albeit history they can't mention, but history nonetheless. It's fantastic. It's the best feud going right now, and it may even be the best feud of the year, given that just how god-awful Nakamura and AJ was. And let's call a spade here. They were terrible. They were god-awful. Am I wrong? Bueller?
Yeah, you were right.
Thank you. Glad it only took you 5 seconds to agree with me, Jaime. Alright. Since we're on the topic of Samoa Joe, and Dan doesn't want to do anything, Jaime, is Samoa Joe the most underrated veteran in the WWE?
He hasn't held a title on the main roster yet, so probably.
Dan, would you like to, join us at some point?
I mean, is Joe the most underrated wrestler? No, absolutely not, man. He's a hell of a guy. Met him once. I enjoyed him. Great dude.
Bow bow chicka wow wow.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's tough, man, right? Because Joe is someone that should easily been a champion by now. Injuries have held him back. Do I think that's going to continue? No, I don't think it's going to continue. I think Joe is going to get the belt from AJ at Hell in the Cell.
What makes Joe underrated is the fact that, although they're not on the same show, but for somebody of Joe's caliber, why is somebody like Braun Strowman getting more pushes than Joe? Even when they were both on Monday Night Raw, that was always the case.
I happen to agree with Jaime here. Dan, would you like to post a rebuttal?
No, not really.
Thank you for joining us, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
I mean, it's wrong.
It really has. All right. Last question before we move on from SmackDown. And this, we all have been following Impact for a while. Dan, you used to do the power rankings for that website we used to work for. Jaime and I used to do the recaps. Dixie Carter, we all know what she did to Impact. Is she literally kicking herself right now? Because 2 of her homegrown stars are going to main event. They're actually main eventing the second biggest wrestling show in the world. How ticked off do you think she is, Dan?
I didn't know they were main eventing All In.
I would call you a name if we weren't told not to cuss.
Dude, it's...
You are a certain part of the male anatomy that is used to fornicate with a part of a female anatomy.
I mean, I don't think she's kicking herself. I think there were bad decisions made. She was trying to do what was best.
Whoa. She was trying to do what was best for who?
For her.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding, right? She ran Impact into the ground.
Hindsight's always 20/20, correct?
No. When she is wrong, she was wrong, and she was wrong. She made bad decision after bad decision and destroyed what was once a promising company that I believe with the right backing could have easily started the second Monday Night War long before they experimented by going to Monday nights. Thank you, Hulk Hogan. But Dan, continue your point.
I don't think she should be kicking herself. I think she did what she thought was best. And I think those 2 were destined to be in WWE anyway.
Okay. I mean, Jaime, what do you think?
It doesn't matter what.
Dixie may be talking about this as one of the biggest mistakes she's ever had, like other business people do. But kicking herself, like, giving herself a hard time for that mistake? Probably not.
Dan,
So,
you have ticked me off again. You have ticked me off again because I was going to use that next line on you the next time you talked. Literally had it primed up, ready to go. But instead, you wanted to quietly blow it. So what do you think, Dan? Finish your point.
So
It doesn't matter what you think.
We're gonna mute that really quick. So one thing that we all have to realize here is Jaime and Ed love to team up with. It doesn't matter what I say or what I do. These two love to make it about themselves and not about the star of the show.
I want to point out that Dan has me probably muted on Twitch right now, but I'm not muted on the actual podcast people are going to listen to. So Dan, continue to talk to your internet. Oh, what do I want to call them? I'll be nice. It's our first show. Am I unmuted now?
You were never actually muted. I just said that so you would shut up.
Oh, so now you're a liar, too. You hear that, everybody? Dan is a liar. Liar. Let's move on. Since Dan brought it up, let's talk about that thing that's happening. I think it's in, what, Detroit or Chicago? Is it in Chicago? No. It ain't big enough to be in Chicago. It's in a suburb of Chicago. And that's, of course, All In. The fifth biggest wrestling thing to happen in the last 6 months. So let's talk about All In. We've done this numerous times. We've already done this on the last 2 shows, but since Dan wants to talk about it again, let's talk about it again. Dan, talk about All In. I'm tired.
Dude, it's one of the biggest. It's the biggest independent wrestling show that any of us have seen up to this point in our lives. It's Cody Rhodes, which everybody knows who he is. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's just so many big names there. Cody Rhodes, Stephen Amell, Rey Mysterio, Jay Lethal. Like, you can just go down the list of all the talent that's going to be there. And part of this talent could end up in the WWE within the next year. Contracts are expiring. Mysterio's been in talks. So who knows what's going to happen? All I know is this is a show you don't want to miss, whether you're an indie mark or you're a WWE truther.
Okay, answer me this. Jay Lethal, he's the guy that had the woo-off with Ric Flair, right? On Impact? The greatest thing that ever appeared on Impact television ever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Jay Lethal's Ric Flair is better than Ric Flair's Ric Flair. It's fantastic. Jaime, what do you like about All In? Because what do you like?
Not really sure because I'm just looking forward to the over-the-budget Battle Royal.
Okay, so there we have it again. Direct question to Jaime, not a direct answer. You know what I'm most excited for about All In?
I'm going to keep a tally on that, like live on screen next time.
Oh.
Every time he doesn't answer a question directly, we're just going to do a mark.
You know what we also need to do? Jaime's indirect answers, my insults of the both of you, and the number of times it takes Dan more than 2 seconds to answer a question. And we'll see, at the end of the show, the one who has the least amount of points will be the one who gets to sign the show off. Sound like a bet, boys?
Yeah.
Good idea.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on Twitch, be sure to keep an eye on those scores. But you both are wrong, because the best thing about All In Weekend...
Swear to God, if you say when it's over...
No. That's really good, though, and I wish I'd have thought of that. This is what happens when you've gotten 4 hours of sleep in 3 days, folks. No, the best thing about All In Weekend is StarCast. Look at the number of podcasts that are going to be in one place. I mean, you got Jim Ross, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Jericho's going to be... Jericho's going to be there. You got 83 weeks. Conrad Thompson is doing like 8 shows in a day. Dude is going to be all over the place. Love the guy. But, I mean, the podcasts are going to be fantastic in and of itself. And that is before I even have to suffer through a Joey Janela match. I'm excited. Just for the podcasts.
Are you going to watch it?
Well, I work until 7 o'clock and have an hour drive home, so no. No, I won't. Will I read a recap of it? Yeah. No, I won't.
Alright, let's just be clear here. Ed's lying.
No, I definitely will not watch it live, at least. I may download it later to have something playing in the background while I'm cleaning my place of business, maybe. If there's time. If I got space on my hard drive, whatever. But I will not watch it live. No, I'm not going to watch it live. But you know one thing I may try to find an illegal stream of, and that's the roast of Bruce Pritchard. Is anybody else excited for that? Because that's going to be some mudslinging at its finest.
I didn't even know that was happening, honestly.
Really?
Now that you said it, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Really? 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 Y'all are a disappointment. Alright, we're going to move on to a part of the show we call Quick Hits, where it's going to be a series of yes or no questions that I ask these two, and then I tell them why they are right or why they are wrong. Daniel, will Taker and Triple H in Australia be good? Yes or no?
No.
Jaime, yes or no?
No.
You both are wrong. It's going to be fantastic, just for the nostalgia factor alone. Because if you will remember, the nostalgia factor can make a terrible match a great match. WrestleMania 18, Rock, Hulk Hogan, the passing of the torch, which The Rock held for like 3 months before he went to Hollywood. The match was not great, but good God, the crowd. It was amazing. Loved it. This will be the same way, especially since the WWE hasn't held a televised event in Australia ever. It's going to be great. All right, next question. Jaime, if the NWO shows up in Australia and they take on The Shield, will you mark out for it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Daniel?
The Shield facing...
Look, we're playing fantasy booking here. It's a yes or no question. Yes or no?
No, because it's not going to happen.
Okay. Let's see. If the WWE buys the Impact Library, there have been rumors for the last decade this is going to happen. How long will it be? And I know this is not a yes or no question, and we're kind of playing loosey-goosey with this format. How long will it be until we see an AJ Styles / Samoa Joe anthology? Jaime, how long?
Less than 6 months.
Daniel?
I was going to say the exact same thing, less than 6 months.
You both are right, technically, but it's going to be like a day and a half. Because you know how quick that's going to sell out? You put that on the WWE Network, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, going all the way back to when the two broke in together. Good God. I know I'd watch it a million times. I'm pretty sure Dan would watch it a million times. Jaime, I don't know about you. You're in a third world country internet. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you'd watch it at least twice. So,
for everyone that doesn't know, Jaime lives in a third world country. Yes, this is true. But his internet has been actually exceptional for this show.
well, that's because he's rich.
Eventually, we will experience the bad Jaime internet.
Yeah, thank God for those of you new listeners. You weren't around in the dark days, back in the days where we had Alex, where we had to rate ourselves a little bit harder than R, and Jaime would kind of come and go as he pleased.
No.
Those were the good days. No, they weren't. All right. Would you guys be interested in the following match? It's a brother from another match where we will see Aiden English and Cesaro taking on John Cena and Darren Young. Daniel, would you want to watch this match?
I need to think about that, actually.
We'll come back. Jaime, yay or nay? Would you watch it?
Yay. It's gonna be entertaining.
I mean, I'd say so. You could have them sit there in the corner, both of them mirror each other's moves, you know, and then I just think it'd work great. Because you put hair on Cesaro, you got Aiden English. You turn John Cena a little bit darker, you got Darren Young. It's
And
perfect.
they pretty much are the same when it comes to moveset.
Exactly. Why aren't we doing this? Whoever's writing for the WWE, I pray that you listen to the show. Because for those of you that are tuning in, and I know I say this a lot, you new people, you're not looking at me because you can't see me, thank God. You guys couldn't handle the amount of sexiness that would come through your screen. But you will come to realize just how amazing my fantasy booking ideas are. And I'm telling you right now, I can fix the entire professional wrestling industry 4 weeks. This would be a match I'd make. And you know what? Let's put some tag team titles on that. And let's put it in a gravy boat match. That's right. You heard me. Gravy boat match. Since we brought up the gravy boat match, I want to hear two from each of you. Jaime, you're a WWE referee. It's Thanksgiving. It's a time for family, for pumpkin pie, candied yams, and for giving. And about an hour and 15 minutes into the show, right where it starts to get that lull before it picks up toward the main event, you look at the rundown sheet and you see gravy boat match, and you're targeted as the referee. What two women do you want to be in that match?
How about make it 4?
No,
I'm
that's
gonna
not
go
the question. That's not the
Okay.
question. 2.
2 women. Past, present.
Anybody.
Past and present.
Anybody that's ever got boobs that's been in a wrestling ring. Or dudes. Hey, we're not discriminating here. Whoever you want in that gravy boat, Jaime, who's it going to be?
Okay, sure. With the amount of backstage heat that the two have and the personal stuff that's going on between them, I'd like to see Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks.
Ooh, that's nice on several levels. Daniel, I asked you this question earlier, didn't get a response. Before we started recording, I want to hear your answer now. Who do you got?
Alexa Bliss and Peyton Royce.
How did I know that was coming? I thought you were going to go with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
I almost spat my protein.
But I also figured that, if you did go with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, you guys wouldn't get up out of the gravy. And I'll resist making another gravy joke here. But you both are wrong, and let me tell you why. I don't know when you guys started watching wrestling, and honestly, I don't care. But I started watching it right around the time where everything gets awkward for a young man. Things get discovered, body parts start to grow, and you realize you can have fun just by yourself, if you catch what I'm dropping. Now, the two women that, honestly, there's about 12 you can choose from, whether it's Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler, Goldust's wife, somebody help me out here, Terry, Jacqueline, Ivory, but no. It's one of the women we saw Monday night, Trish Stratus. And it's her very best friend, Lita. Because let me tell you something. I would take 1999 Lita. I would take Edge's girlfriend, 2006 Lita. I would take 2018 Lita that did the commentary for the WWE Network during that thing. I would take her all. And to be sandwiched between Trish and Lita, breaking up a side headlock, and then all three of us falling into the gravy, I need to stop. My girlfriend's in the next room, and I need to stop. So let's move on. Jaime, you brought this up. We're going to ask you the question. Elias, Eli Drake, are they secretly the same person?
They look like mirror images of each other.
They do, don't
Only
they?
that Elias has longer hair, but, they have the same eyes, they have the same facial features, same facial hair, same body type, same wit when it comes to being a heel. They just have different characters. Eli Drake's like celebrities, something like that, and Elias is a musician.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Maybe a little too Looney Tunes, maybe not. That's for you listeners or watchers to decide. Is it possible that after Eli Drake leaves the tapings at Impact, he puts on a wig, puts on a fake beard, finds a decorative scarf from Woodstock, and plays the guitar? Daniel, is this possible? Are they the same person? Do we need Maury to get us a DNA test?
Yes. Yes, Ed, yes. Absolutely. You set that up.
I'm working on it, but the Maury show won't call me back. Something about I don't know. It's complicated. All right, we're going to move on. I want you all to pick me a manager. Now, Daniel, I know you flunked out of wrestling school. You couldn't hack it. You're too fat. Your body couldn't take it. But let's say, on the off chance, you made it. And you made it larger than wrestling in a VFW hall for 35 people during a bachelor party that they didn't even know you were going to be there for. You made it to the big time. You're in Impact Wrestling. You also have a time machine.
I'm in Impact?
You're in Impact Wrestling. But
I know who I want my manager to be.
Listen to me before I get the question. You're in Impact Wrestling. You have a time machine and an unlimited amount of funds to pay this gentleman or woman. Who is your manager? Going all the way back. All the way back. Or all the way forward. Who's it going to be?
Oh, it's going to be the Smoke Show.
For those of us that don't know who the hell you're talking about.
The Mr. Impact himself doesn't know who I'm referring to when I refer to the Smoke Show?
I'm trying to get, the people that don't watch Impact to know who the hell you mean.
Or Joe. Or Doe. However you say her last name. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Interesting choice.
Interesting choice.
Okay. Jaime, same question.
Your days with her?
I'm just saying, you can pick anybody ever, and you pick a guy that never got out of Impact.
A guy? What are you talking about?
Girl, whatever. I'm not good with pronouns, man. Or nouns. Or verb. I've written 3 books. You think I'd have, the English language down. Speaking of people that don't have the English language down, Jaime, give me your answer.
I'm going with, since you're talking about women with people with no English language, I'm going with Zelina Vega. But although she has, her roots, her origin.
Jaime.
I'll take her as my hype.
Jaime.
Okay.
The proper joke there for somebody that didn't know the English language would be Mr. Fuji. Or Sonny Ono. Come on. You're better than that, man. You're better than that. But you both are wrong, and I love saying this. And let me tell you why. Because you guys forgot about 30 people that are better than both of those two combined. Short list. Captain Lou Albano, the Grand Wizard, and Bobby Heenan. And then the best manager of all time ever. Anybody want to take a guess who that is? It doesn't matter who you guess it is. I'm going to start doing that every show because that feels so good. It's Paul freaking Heyman. Are you kidding me? He made Brock Lesnar a star. When Brock Lesnar was trying to do shooting star presses and almost breaking his neck. Paul Heyman is a god. And the fact that you didn't pick him not only shows your short-sightedness, but your dumbness. Yeah.
But he only worked with Brock Lesnar. He wasn't able to...
Are you kidding me?
He
wasn't
able to replicate the same success with Cesaro. Did it give Cesaro the amount
Jaime,
of factor that Lesnar
just shut
has?
up. CM Punk. The Dangerous Alliance. 911 in ECW. Sabu. Are you kidding me? Jaime? Seriously? Are you not a Paul Heyman guy? Because I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
I am.
Dan, are you a Paul Heyman guy?
Meh.
For the 4th time in this show, I am greatly disappointed, not only myself for not influencing these two gentlemen, but at you two as well.
Anything to troll you.
Yeah. Y'all are going to burn in hell. You guys are going to burn in wrestling hell. Speaking of wrestling hell, you can go to fight.tv and watch All In September 1st. Just had to throw it in there. All right. Last thing. Well, not the last thing. Jaime, you got 2 things to do. Give me your match to watch this weekend that doesn't come out of Chicago.
This weekend? Maybe this week.
Whatever, Jaime. You've been doing this segment for a year. For a year. You should have had something by now. Dan, give me something to watch this weekend. This week, whatever.
Cody Rhodes.
No, God. We work on this. We literally work on this. At noon today, I sent you guys what the rundown was going to be of the show. Dan's just doing it to be that part of the female anatomy, and Jaime's just unprepared. I don't know if Jaime didn't get all of his nap in, if his protein-infused coffee didn't work. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But you guys got to be better at this on our second show on Twitch. This is embarrassing. And you know what? It's not even embarrassing me. You're embarrassing yourselves. Shame.
Because the match of the week, the match that I was supposed to plug already happened. They all happened in NXT.
Jaime. It's something coming up. This is the way it's always been. This show is a train wreck. Pure train wreck. So since neither of them two are prepared, I'm going to give you something to watch this week. And that is week 1 of college friggin' football. It's here, folks.
Ugh.
The summertime is over. Let the pumpkin spice lattes come as they may. Let the leaves fall, the temperatures get cold, hoodies to come out, and fat guys like Dan painting their stomachs, getting drunk in 10-degree weather. Let this happen. It's the best time of the year.
That definitely did not happen.
Oh, that's happened. We've seen pictures, Dan. We have seen pictures. Jaime, are you prepared for this one? Give me a 205 Live update.
Right now, Cedric Alexander doesn't have an opponent yet coming up. But signs point that Leo Rush might be the next in line for that, so I'm looking forward to that.
Fair enough. Daniel, you want to mention something about NXT, or are we just going to brush past it?
I mean, NXT's the best show WWE puts out every week.
How about talking about Ricochet? Maybe something in there about him?
Well, let me throw in something about NXT.
Fair enough.
We have a budding match at the I'm not sure if it's going to be a budding match, but it's a brewing rivalry that's going to be a match of the year candidate. Like this, of all the match of the year candidates that NXT Takeover has produced, this might be, if it pushes through, Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream.
I can dig it. Sounds pretty decent. All right.
I mean, NXT UK just got done doing their TV tapings, and we have our first official NXT UK Women's Champion.
Do I know who she is?
You should. She was in the Mae Young Classic last year. She's in the Mae Young Classic this year.
Doesn't mean anything. I barely know who Pete Dunne is.
Spoiler alert.
Nope. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We do not do that here. We are a spoiler-free show, guys. Just to give you a little bit of heads up. All right.
It's on there if you want to know.
We are going to do what we do best. And that is talk about ourselves before the show is over. So, Jaime, you're going to go first. Tell us about what's going on at our lovely home.
All right, now, I've already created a Twitch account. Follow Dan Suit. I'm about to stream. And to get you guys excited, I'm starting to train professional wrestling.
I give, and I give, and I give. And what do I get? I set him up. Right there. Fastball. Right down the middle. All he had to do was just and knock it out. I said let's talk about our home. Where's our home, Jaime? Is it not Vavel? I don't know, the website you edit? Talk about that.
Okay, I didn't get it the first time, I'm sorry. So, Vavel USA, we need more writers, so I'm not sure when Dan's coming along, but Ed and I are pretty much active, so you can find us at the wrestling section of Vavel. You can Google it, Vavel Wrestling, and that's our entire section on the top of the search.
Daniel, it is your turn now. Can you
You got
peel yourself away from the internet porn you're probably watching on your screen to talk to us for a little bit?
You guys can find me right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/DannyBananas. Any questions you guys got, come in the chat. I don't have a full stream schedule set up yet. Still working on getting those details worked out. But follow me on Twitter at RealDdirect. We will as updated there. And as always, you can find me right here on the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. Ed, not that many people actually care, but what do you have going on?
Well, let's see. I got 3 books on Amazon with another 2 more coming. You can also find me at the Southeastern Publications Journal and Noble County Leader. That is based out of Caldwell, Ohio, where tomorrow and Friday I'll be covering huge games in Noble County, where Shenandoah will be taking on Bel Air, and Caldwell will be taking on Eastern. That's tomorrow night at 7:30. That's at the fairgrounds, part of the Noble County Fair. You can find all the coverage at the Journal and the Noble County Leader, or journal-leader.com. Guys, this is the end. And, I've been complaining to you guys about how y'all need to be more prepared. And I'm not going to lie, I've let you guys down today. Because I was going to have outro music. And now I'm glad I didn't, because you guys have let me down so severely, I don't even want to post this. So if you hear it, it's because I've been talked into it. I just want to go to sleep. Y'all have depressed me that much. This is your fault. But we'd like to thank you all for listening. And, if you didn't like what you hear, and you're not down with us, we got 2 words for you. Keep listening.